Good afternoon, and with gratitude to our Lord and Savior, in the name of the merciful and benevolent, Allah, Bismillah, the Son of Rakim, the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Esau, and Ira. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you an extraordinary young man, a man of faith, whom in the Honi the Magel fashion brought the reins down to Africa. No, not Toto, but to Deal, New Jersey on the summer weekends. A coach whom, like Jimmy Escalante of Stand and Deliver fame, took a bunch of Torah scholar kids, taught them the game of basketball, and captured the Yeshiva championship. Voted by Industrial Domestic Magazine as Vacuum Person of the Year, a record 3 times. He's most famous for his always funny joke of, "Why can't I tell any vacuum jokes?" But modern-day Robespierre-like revolutionary, well ahead of his time, he was lambasted and mimicked for decrying the evils of handshaking, food sharing, and was an ardent practicer of social distancing well before the CDC made it to know. Not missing an article in well over a decade, he is a member of both the Daily News and New York Post Hall of Fame. An historian, as an historian, he has dedicated his life to studying every detail of the life of the great IBH. There is so much more on this impressive young man, but we will sum it up with what Javad Zarif said about him. He is a great vacuum repairman, but even a greater person. We are reporting from the Chama Studios on 1840 McDonald Avenue, the iconic Chama Studios, who's known as like the Apollo of Brooklyn. And with us today is the coach. Good afternoon. I'm sorry. Good afternoon. Talk to us.
Who is IBH? I don't know.
We're going to talk about IBH after.
All right.
Okay.
By the way, it's the 2-year anniversary since the semifinal victory against Hal.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, where you announced that great game.
Wonderful.
To watch, subscribe. I think the button's like down over here. To
yeah, make sure you subscribe to DannyMiz.com.
Yeah, we need 1,000 to go live.
Okay. Now, you as a youngster,
yes,
you attended Camp Bro Channel. How did
I'm the younger of four
brothers.
Yes.
CM, GM, LM, and yourself.
Yes.
And you attended Bro Channel. Camp Bro Channel helped shape your life.
Yeah, I went to Bro Channel.
Talk about the days of Bro Channel.
Bro Channel from I think 1977 to 1985 and a half.
It's a lot of summers.
Yes.
I know you were having the summers.
It was a day camp. It was a day camp in Broad Channel. I used to take varsity bus there. Major fields, swimming pool. Lenny Solomon worked there. Schlockrock.
Oh, Schlockrock.
Yes.
That's a big name. Big name.
He was the music teacher there.
Wow.
And the karate teacher, you have to ask GM. The karate teacher was, what's his name? Sheldon, I think. He went on to bigger and better things also.
That's beautiful. Yeah. You were like scores.
And by the way, they had the best pizza on Fridays, the best little pizzas in the world.
And you still remember that till this very day.
Oh, yes, and that cinnamon, but I didn't know how to tell my mother what I liked about it.
This was obviously pre you watching your weight.
Yeah, back then I was skinny. Here's a picture of me.
Show the crowd
1983 or 84, I believe, in the dugout.
Wow,
yeah,
So big Rusty Staub fan, big Stretch fan. I know you're a big Rusty Staub fan, and Neil Allen also.
Yeah.
And Craig Swan.
Yes, number 27.
Yes. This was before the Mets were actually really good.
Our nice. Oh no, sorry. Let me see our swimming pool. Broad Channel swimming pool.
Wow.
Yeah, boating there also.
So you were like the scores man of Broad Channel.
No,
you're about having fun. You're about meeting guys, meeting girls. You had a blast at Bro Channel. Any special memories besides the pizza and the swimming pool that you have from Bro Channel? Playing baseball.
We used to actually go there on Sundays with the family. We used to have family there on Sundays. We used to go sit by the pool and all that. Everybody go. Yeah, it was a great camp.
Wow, great memories.
Yeah.
Now you played a lot of softball and baseball over there.
Yes.
How were the fields?
Excellent. You see here. Right. This was leading into the locker room. I don't know who these people are. But this was leading into the boys' locker room right there. The boys, and it was nice. It was nice locker. You had your own locker, so
lot of pictures.
So you could change in privacy.
What happened? What happened when you were playing baseball one time? You're talking about a story about an outfielder who fell or something like that.
They used to leave the dogs out for the weekend to patrol the place so nobody would come in, and they used to relieve themselves, make
duty
on the fields. And so the next Monday we're playing, and all of a sudden one guy's running for a ball and he slips and he's covered full of dog But they had nice showers there, so he was able to go into the shower. And
you're looking at a lawsuit if that happens there. So now there was one summer where your parents took you out of Broad Channel. Why? What happened? What was that all about?
You have to call Ray about this. I don't remember.
You don't know why, but you know they took you out.
It was something. I mean, I think my father was having some type of procedure or something. They didn't want me there or us there. I don't exactly remember what the reason was. And my cousin Kupchak, cousin Mitch, was the king of the campus at the Hot Tikva camp. And I guess my parents, this is a great camp. Let's send them there. Never been to sleepaway camp before. Oh, by the way, here is where we used to eat lunch, by the way.
How was that experience at Camp Hot Tikva?
Yeah, this was not a sleepaway camp, but it was sort of like a sleepaway camp. Very large.
So when you went to Camp Hot Tikva,
first thing we go to Camp Hot Tikva, I don't know, maybe what day or something I remember, and they had tennis courts without nets.
Perhaps a new game.
Yeah.
The Kornblums are in charge of Camp Hot Tikva. Good family.
Yes.
Good family.
Yes.
The Kornblums. How long did it take you to adjust to Camp Hot Tikva?
I never adjusted.
You're still scarred from it.
Yeah.
Was it 3 weeks before you went to the bathroom to make duty?
More like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
So you held out for 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
What was going on through your mind?
Nothing. I wasn't going to go.
Do you think that possibly gave you some damage, psychological damage, that you didn't go to the bathroom for 2.5 weeks?
A lot of things gave me psychological damage.
So this is definitely one of the events that helped shape your life.
By the way, when it used to rain, they used to take you to two places. Either they used to watch a movie in the what's that shack called?
The gazebo.
No, it was something else. I can't think of the name now. Shoot. The carousel.
The carousel.
It smelled. The rain used to leave. It used to a movie from like the 1950s, whatever. And you didn't have a back chair. It was just benches, and you used to sit there. Or they used to take you to Flatbush High School to go swimming there. Those are rainy day activities.
Those were the best days of your life.
Not the summer of '69, but the summer of '85.
Anything else to add about Broad Channel and Hot Tikva and bathrooms or whatever it is?
Oh, sorry, I forgot you meant to Hot Tikva. No, so I didn't enjoy the camp. There was a kid that bunked on top of me, and he had a problem. He urinated in his bed every night, so I got the full ammonia smell. I felt bad. He was actually an African American kid. I think he was African American, and it was just the smell every night. And I was up and all that because I didn't like it. It was just really.
How long were you there for?
I think 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks.
Wow.
It was, and my mother. She used to send me the daily news clippings. And I was there July 24th, 1983. What happened July 24th? Yes,
wow,
yeah, I read it. And I think I still have those clippings somewhere.
Very sentimental.
Yeah, so it was no TV, no nothing, no newspaper. It was just really the worst.
Anything else to add to that, Coach? Or
Hot Tikva?
Hot Tikva, Broad Channel?
I don't remember really
we moved on to the next segment.
I don't remember anything else about Hot Tikva. No, it was just horrible. I went from the best summer of my life to the worst summer of my life.
And that helped. I know that was a turning point in your life that made you a little bit as you are today.
Yeah.
Okay, now can we move on to the next topic?
No, I see here, by the way, here, this is the fields now. This was taken like 10 years ago, where there's nothing there.
Wow.
Very, very
desolate.
sad.
Very,
yeah.
very sad.
Very sad. And they used to have these flies this big.
It's like the Catskills, like the Concord or the Grossingers. It all went away.
Yeah, I mean the bugs that they used to have there was just.
And nobody even thought they were dangerous or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay, Coach. At what point in your life did you find hygiene, where you began decrying the evils of handshaking and?
I guess when my first niece was born, my first nephew was born, they used to be a little bit, you have to wash your hands with blah, blah, blah before you pick the baby.
Jelly or?
Well, it was, his niece, Israel.
Okay.
Israel, yeah. You have to wash your hands. So since then, coming home from shul, touching people's hands, it's just kind of my list, pretty smart.
So you absolutely refuse to shake hands?
No, I shake hands, but I keep my right hand free.
You're well ahead of your time because people constantly shaking hands, and you refuse to shake hands. I remember you used to wear the glove, or you used to do this when you came out of shul.
I tried, yes.
Or like some people do this, when they
just touching your computer. By the way, I don't know what you watch.
No, nothing.
So it's very.
This computer.
I'll make sure to watch.
This computer is clean.
Yeah.
So you're ahead of your time. I
Yes,
know.
yes.
In the synagogue, you never took out. You always made sure that the box is sealed with wrapper before taking it. So nobody
Always
else
like to
ever
get
hits
there
it.
first or be in charge of the food, so I'm able to take beforehand.
Did you have any incidents at home where you with your parents?
Actually, one time I still do this. I started doing this again. The plastic cup, I was big into recycling. So I used to leave a plastic cup on my arm from my orange juice on the counter. So one day I'm drinking the orange juice, and then all of a sudden I see at the end of the orange juice, there's like this bug. I don't know if it wasn't a cockroach, it was like a water bug. It was in the bottom of my cup. I didn't realize that it was there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. Traumatic.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's interesting how that, you became so OCD about it. And now you're known as the guy that, you will mimic.
Not as other people that know.
People were laughing at you as far as even before the pandemic. They were laughing at you, sending people to shake your hands. And
who was that?
That was me.
Oh, okay.
Sending people to shake your hands or to tap you on the back. And I mean, we did a mea culpa and we regretted it because you were right.
Yes.
Mizrahi was right.
Yeah.
Rain and deal in the summers. What was that all about?
I don't know what you're talking about with that.
Did you ever pray for rain it to rain on the weekends and deal in the summer?
I pray for a lot of things. So.
Good, bad,
everything.
I know you.
I stopped praying for bad. I stopped that a while ago.
You evolved.
Yeah, I did evolve. That wasn't nice because it was coming true.
It was 100%. And I'm a victim of his prayers, and I'm still concerned about it.
No, go ahead.
No,
don't worry about it.
I have a couple of incidents where where I spoke to your parents about you about
that's
fine.
Stuff. I'm an open book. You can say whatever you want. Go ahead. Don't worry about
absolutely
it.
not.
No,
absolutely not. Could you talk about the 3 great influences in your life? First, about
3 great influences in my life.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Morris Chuck Dweck, Heshi Harold Katz, and of course IBH. These are your 3 mentors.
3 what?
3 mentors. 3 people who.
Mentors. Who's my mentor?
Truck.
My whole life, or basketball, or
basketball mentor, life mentor.
Well, I mean.
I thought these 3. I mean, we put
well,
those.
If the question is who got me into basketball coaching, I think that would be a better question.
Well, on your Wikipedia page, it mentioned those 3 people as your greatest.
No, but the question should be how I got into basketball.
How did you get into basketball?
Oh, okay. That's well. I enjoyed being a counselor since I was a younger brother. You have
Did you ever play on a team?
I was skipping back.
Let's draw back. Did you ever play a team?
Yes, I played on the 7th grade team and 8th grade team.
Who was the coach there?
Fred Levine was the 7th grade coach. He used to play for Flatbush.
Okay.
And he was the first person I ever saw dunk. Actually, I don't know if he's before Rory Sparrow, but he was the first person I saw.
Rory Sparrow, the 4th.
Before when they came to the center. I don't know if it was before that, like the same year. He was the first guy that I actually saw dunk. Oh, could you dunk? And he dunked. It was like Green President, 7th grade and all that stuff.
Okay. So what about high school? How was your high school career?
And 8th grade, thank you for asking. 8th grade, by the way, I'm looking over here. I'm just looking for pictures so it can help you out.
Okay, go ahead.
8th grade, it was Coach Gelber. But back then, there wasn't a team. It was a team that
ceremonial.
Just played like this. I think we played parents one game, and I think one other game, but it wasn't that like a week that they had in.
So shift on to high school. Did you ever play in high school?
No, I got cut freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, senior year by Coach Gelber.
Every year by Coach Gelber.
Yes.
In Coach Gelber's defense, though, he said if you would have taken 22 guys, you would have been the 22nd.
No, that's 100% not true. I was the best in my grade. In 8th grade, I was the best. And if you want to say I was the 4th best, 5th best, I mean, look at that grade. It wasn't, and I was. Were
you resentful towards Coach Gelber?
And I got over that.
Did you regret not getting the jacket or not getting the knitted yarmulke sewn for you by the girls?
100%, sure.
You would have worn that.
But again, I would have failed off.
I thought you were a good student.
No. I was a good student since 6th grade.
In any the consolation is you would have failed off.
Yeah.
So it was, in retrospect, Coach Gelber did you a favor by cutting you.
I mean, who knows? Then if I would have used, I remember in 7th.
Of course, for motivation.
I remember in 8th grade, Mrs. Shepatovsky. I said I didn't do my homework or something, my math homework before, and I said, because I had practice, I'll take you off that team right away, even though it really wasn't that much of a team. That's what she threatened me with that.
And that motivated you to become
No,
a better student.
no.
So talk about, so you
Same
got
thing.
cut. I mean, Gelber said, I mean, if you would have taken 22 guys, you would have been 22nd.
That's 100% not true.
He's lying. It's a fraud.
I was good. I really was good.
It's a myth. Yeah, you were a good shooter, a good role player. You reminded me of a young Bill Hanslick.
Yes.
If anybody who remembers Bill Hanslick, he was about a 6'7" Notre Damer who played for Denver. Good defensive player, always guarded bigger players, guarded smaller players, long hands.
Yeah.
Steady guy, never took a bad shot. Bill Hanslick, look him up. Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So now, how did you get into basketball coaching?
Oh, well, that's an excellent question.
No, we got to talk about basketball.
So then after Broad Channel, I wasn't going to go back to Broad Channel because it was changing. So we found the center camp in 1986.
Okay.
Linda Schiff, Frida Mizrahi Towel. And I interviewed. I got the job as CIT as a first grade counselor, CIT, which I made $100 that summer. And I liked it and all that. Then I started working. Then that led me working into the gym. That's where I met Scott Riva.
Louisville Scott Riva.
Yes, Hampton Scott Riva.
Yes.
And then they have the Mustang team, whatever. It was the Mustang team at that time. Coach Weinstein, God rest his soul. He was the coach, and Elliot Tersey was his assistant at the time. Then Coach Weinstein left. Elliot Tersey said, he goes, oh, you want to help? Oh, what a great opportunity. I didn't know anything. I didn't know zones. Some people might say I don't know anything. So I started learning. I remember I still have notes. My mother went to the library on, I was 21 years old. She went to the library in Sheepshead Bay and got me a book. I don't have, I would prepare it. I don't know if we know this today. How to Coach Basketball. Hardcover. No random person, not even like just a basic book.
Like by Bruce or something like
something like that.
Harris.
And I have my notes. I took my notes down and all that. And I didn't. I mean, there's so much more stuff I don't know.
Of course, basketball is like Torah. It's endless knowledge.
My next goal is to learn motion offense. That's the next goal, to actually teach it the right way, to incorporate things that I like. So that's my next thing.
So that's how you got.
So then I started coaching Mustangs. Then Elliot Tersey left to go coach Mag David JV because Morris Bader was coaching and he left. And I was coaching the Mustangs. Then Ellie was getting married to the beautiful Jennifer.
Mazel tov.
Yes, from Jersey, who actually made me go to his birthday party, all the way until his 40th birthday party and all that, which was a nightmare. But I had to do a video, which I didn't do anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I was Ellie's assistant on David J. I was 20, 1993. I was 22 years old. And he had to go to, I think, Haiti or something for a business trip. And my first game, I think it was Haiti.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think. And he wasn't there against Flatbush. And that's my first game ever coaching. And we lost.
You were coaching against Mike Gelber, the man that
it was great. Yes, and Keith Ryan. Yeah, it was great. I was on. We almost.
You almost pulled it off.
We almost pulled it off. And the next time we beat him, when Ellie was back, we lost by like 25 at the Maganilla Elementary School.
So according to the Amir Cohen philosophy, you lost by 7. Elliot Tersey lost by 25. So if you're 18 points better coach than Elliot Tersey.
No, actually, I mean, nothing against Elliot, but it felt good to. But it was in a smaller gym, whatever, and they were much better. So it was all that. And they probably took us for granted because that was relatively.
So move on. So the next year you got the head coaching job after Elliot left.
And then I got the head coach. So boom, semifinals. I thought I was the greatest coach ever.
First year you go to the semifinals.
Yeah, we lost to Flatbush. First game we lost by like 10, whatever. Second game we lost in double overtime on February 22nd, I think, 1995. My worst loss ever.
Double overtime.
We had a lead. And we left guy off the inbound, and then I mean you could go look it up on.
You have the games.
It was just horrible, really, just.
And then you played them in the semifinals.
Then we played Sade Torah, who we beat like 20 points the first 2 times playing the season. I mean, back then you finished 8-2. I mean, if you finished 7-3, you had a bad year. But I shouldn't say that. 6-4 was a bad year because we actually played other teams outside. Our division, like the Frishes of the world, we lost in double overtime also that year. Heartbreaking game. They threw out Joey Duche, a female referee.
Really?
It was just again. Look that up. We lost that game. Whatever.
A lot of history here, Coach.
It was that first year was everything. We lost.
So you made it to the semifinals.
So we made it to first round of playoffs. We shot A. We barely beat them. Maybe we took it for granted. We barely.
Well, it's hard to beat a team 3 times.
Yeah, but they were horrible. Great coach, but horrible. Richie G. Then we played JC. We beat them in overtime, quarterfinal game. Home. Grandma passed away. God rest his soul.
God rest
Yeah,
his soul.
that,
Is that my Hilma that you room with in Israel?
yes.
Okay.
Uh,
And you went on the CM trip to Israel. Grandma Hilda.
no, it was my father. I believe he
Oh.
took us. He treated that trip.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. Then we lost to Flatbush in the semis, and they ended up winning the championship.
Wow, heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And you just couldn't get over the hump of beating.
No, they just had a better team.
Beating the foe, like your nemesis, Mike Gelber.
A better team, and that's when
So-
they used to play the
so
semifinals at the home gym.
You're,
Also,
you're on JV now. Did you ever have a chance to go to varsity?
You tell me. You know that my history better than I do.
Well, I mean, I'm asking you.
I don't remember. No, we
Who was coaching varsity at the time?
Coach Morris Truck Dweck.
He came in the same year you came in?
No, he came in a year after.
A year after you came
Yeah,
in.
I was JV.
So when you were JV, who was the varsity coach?
Brett Tower.
Brett Tower.
Brett
The
Tower, and
lefty.
he left.
Football player?
Yeah, they just different philosophies. I think
They
it made.
parted ways.
Yeah, he was,
Okay.
he's
That's
actually
fair enough.
coaching. I think in Beach Channel. I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
they
he was the
weren't.
varsity coach.
They weren't ready for his type of coaching.
Were you ever offered a varsity job?
I interviewed for the varsity job.
Okay.
Was I ever offered it? No, I think I suggested, or Coach Katz maybe. Again, I don't have a good memory.
Coach Katz was there at the time?
Yeah, he was there. Yeah.
Heshi Harold Katz, the dean of Orthodox Jewish basketball.
Yes, he was.
For those of you at home.
He was there at the time. That was his first year there. He knew.
So he suggested Morris Dweck.
I think so.
Truck.
I think so. Yeah.
Because Truck was coming off Sephardic, and he was suggesting Truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Truck got the job, and did you coordinate with Truck? Were you guys together?
No, he said I'll only take the job, and I might go.
He was coming back from Sephardic.
He was off a year or two.
Yeah.
He was off. I think his last year at Sephardic was 92. So
Henry Vishami.
Yeah. So he was off a couple of years, and my goal was I wasn't heartbroken. I love JV. He said to me,
Quote.
he said to me, only way I'll do this job, this I remember, in the office, only way I'll take this job is if you become my assistant. I said, great, no problem at all.
Okay. So you became assistant on varsity and
Yeah.
the JV coach.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think I was actually coaching the Mustangs also at that time. So I was coaching 3 teams.
Wow.
And then I gave up the Mustangs, a championship team. I don't know if it was, he won the championship.
Now,
Amir.
Truck said that he wasn't going to last. He couldn't take the losing. He said, I'll be there for a couple of years and that's it. I mean, it's reminiscent of the Egyptian despot Hosni Mubarak, who came into power after Sadat got assassinated. He says, I'm only going to be here for 1 term, maybe 2 terms max. And he wound up staying for about 30 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Truck is also known in these circles as Truck Hosni Mubarak. Also, David Dinkins for being a really, really nice guy. Yeah. Dinkins Dweck.
Yeah.
Did he ever blame you? Did you ever coordinate with him? Did he ever blame you for winning or losing a game?
Only 1 game.
You know, how we influence coaching with Morris Dweck? Did you learn from him? Did he teach you anything?
Oh, how could you not? I learned from a lot of coaches. I try to take the best out of everybody.
What are some of the best things you took from Morris? Primary, secondary?
No. His how do I explain it? The whole, not just coaching the basketball game, the whole I can't think of the word. Dealing with the parents, with the referees, the schedule and all that. That's
kind of stuff behind the scenes.
Yes.
What about basketball-wise? Anything you learned from Truck basketball-wise?
It's just too long to say. I don't want to bore
the great Morris Dweck.
Yeah.
Now, talk about the impact that Heshi Harold Katz had on your life as a basketball coach.
Yes. Oh, he was the number one. I wasn't working I think I wasn't working at the time. So he used to go to the center, and he used to be there. And we used to just talk. I mean, I still have his napkins or whatever that he used to write down stuff, how to beat the 131 and all that stuff. So he was the most influential. I don't think he wants me to admit that, seeing how bad I am according to.
Well, you're just reverse course.
Yeah.
Of course, Harold Katz was the one that Heshy Katz, sorry, was the one that hated zones, and now you're back to playing zones.
Right, but he was also one that plays zone also. Or you don't know the situation and all that. He's changed also. He's evolved also.
So he had a great impact on your coaching life.
Mikor Chaim, I think, is the name of his up-and-coming team. Watch out for them at Sarachek in a couple of years.
Oh, if God willing, there'll be sports and there'll be Sarachek.
Yes.
We hope so.
BH. Right.
I mean, there's a lot of action happening at the Chamath Studios. There's people working behind the scenes to set up.
Why don't we do this
courses.
at the Big Jelly Studios?
We're scared of IBH. That's definitely scared of IBH. IBH.
Yes. Oh, we skipped. What did we skip?
IBH and Letterman. We were talking about basketball.
Oh, okay.
We're going to get back to it, but you want to finish the basketball after Mag and David? Then you went to what happened? Mag and David let you go. You were like you were compared to Moses. In other words, you were there ready to win the championship at the Promised Land. Yeah. That team that you left the year before was primed and favored to win the championship. Yeah. And they just fired you.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't just us. I mean, I said some inappropriate stuff, I should say, that I've heard coaches say a lot worse. They started, really.
In other words, you think they wanted you out?
No, I think some people did. Yeah, and I found out like a year after who wanted me out. And I found that in a circular way. He went to this person and said, "Oh, get rid of him. I don't want him. I can't get into further detail. Then you'll know who this person is."
You're on the cusp of entering the land of Israel, and they just say, "No, you can't go in."
Yeah, very painful.
And that's how it was. And you were coming off a tremendous victory in Maccabi also, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong or no? Or Maccabi came after?
No, Maccabi came after that.
You were a gold medal winning coach in Maccabi. Revolution.
Right, that we lost in that summer. We lost in the finals when I think you said somebody wanted to change their sneakers, and you said don't change their sneakers, and you ended up going to the baseline and falling and turning over the ball.
Just to remind the audience, there was one of the great players on the team, Rabbi now. Who,
yes, he is a rabbi.
Issues with his sneakers, and then they'll play. You drew up a five.
The co-coach.
I'm not a co-coach. I'm an assistant. Coach was right. He drew up a 5-point play. In other words, it could go to anybody if this happens.
I think we wanted him to shoot. I think that's. I don't remember.
I remember he caught the ball on the side and he just tripped on the baseline. Yeah. And then afterwards, I mean, we fouled. We were down by one. We were down by one, I think, and we fouled. And they missed the front. They missed the 1-and-1. Yeah. And then our guy chucked the ball. Rabbi Alex Mizrahi, another rabbi that you coached.
Yes.
He chucked the ball. Oh, Haron.
No, it was Ray. I think.
No, it wasn't Ray. It was Alex.
It was Alex.
Alex got the rebound, and Ray's hero, Adelsberg, smacked the hell out of his head, and a loud thump, and the referee wouldn't call a foul. Reminiscent of Matt Howard and Butler. Remember that?
Yeah, sure.
When he got fouled like about 50 or 60 feet away from the basket.
Yeah. But they were good. We lost. They were an excellent team. They had the half the kids. They had the Flatbush kids. They were excellent.
But
we were good, but we were a year away. I know you don't like to use this excuse, but we were a year younger than that.
You were a year younger than that, but I think you were still better than them.
No,
I think you could have won.
I don't think we were.
I remember sitting on the bench there at the end of the. I mean, I had to read the names because you were crying.
They had. I wasn't crying. They had Adels. No.
You were crying at the end.
I wasn't.
You were crying when I had to introduce the
Was it tears coming down?
Absolutely.
No, there wasn't. See how you lied.
Okay, it doesn't make a
you have any
difference.
proof of that?
No, obviously not. I'm not proof.
All right.
The point that I'm saying is, you know,
we were small also.
Oh, very small.
Right.
We're very small.
I don't think they were much better. I think they were maybe
a little bit better. Yeah, they were a little more talented.
Because they beat us the game before also, I believe.
They beat us twice. The first game, guy Kufferling scored 28.
Kufferling, that's right. He was a great player for Hafta. So I mean, they were a year ahead of us.
Yes.
So
your guys were young.
They were going to be seniors, I think, or juniors. Then we were going to be sophomores. So it was a big difference.
It was back then. It was a big difference.
Right. They were good. Right. They were going to be juniors. Then we were going to be sophomores.
And then the following year, you came back and you won the gold medal.
Yeah. Yeah. We were just
that was
a great team.
Yeah, I mean, one of the greatest teams. I mean, unfortunately, you cut Korach, but
well, that was right. We discussed it, and final choice. He wanted to take somebody else who was a great rebound and the small things.
Well, there was no justification. There was a 6'2" guy who looked like a bear, but he played like a lamb.
Yeah, but I regret that. I should.
Yeah, of course, you should have stuck with Korach. Yeah. But it is what it is. It happened. You still won the gold medal.
Yeah.
You know, so you got fired from Mag and David.
I didn't actually technically get fired because it's a year contract, so they just didn't rehire me.
Okay, so you weren't back. You weren't back to get your ring.
And then I watched them watch the championship.
So where did you go next after this?
I didn't do anything for that year. Then the year after that, I coached Shade for 2 years.
And how did that work out?
First year we made the playoffs. We lost by 7, 48-41 to Kushner. Our best player got fouled out. Surprise, surprise. Rabbi Manny Haber got fouled out. We played against Sandusky. And should have won that game. But he was
Is
in
this
foul
varsity
trouble.
or junior
Varsity.
Okay.
Varsity. And then right after that, they would decide, I don't know if we're going to have a team anymore. And then one of the guys at ZDR, Zvi Dovroth on Kings Highway, said, "Danny, come coach me." I said, "All right." It was paying great. I mean, the money was terrific. And in the first year, what happens? The kid fails off 50 again. The best ball player. I mean, he was excellent. So he had 2 bad years. The second year went 0-14.
Wow, tough year.
Yeah. But we learned. We battled.
You battled.
Yeah.
I mean,
we had a chance to win that last game. My best player fouled out.
And then you reported him. That
Yes, I did.
Honesty.
Yes.
This is the honesty of a
the
coach.
best policy.
The book, even though the book didn't say
They didn't have
out,
their home book, so we were the home book.
So you were wrong. You did morally you did the right thing, but technically you did the wrong thing. Let me just explain to the audience what happened was their best player fouled out on his book, but he was on the ZDR book.
Yeah.
But the ZDR book was not the home book. So technically the home book is in charge. So when the ref looks, he goes, "Who's the home book?" It was I don't remember the school, whatever it was.
It was Tab. We played Tab the last game.
So Tab was the home book.
Yeah.
And Tab did not have him fouling out. So Tab was, if they made a mistake, it's their fault.
Right.
And you went out on the limb and you said, no, he has 5 fouls.
Yeah.
Which I still think is wrong to do because it's irresponsible. If they made a mistake, it's their fault. If they're the home book. So you coached at ZDR, then you moved on to Flatbush.
No, so right then after ZDR, I coached, I believe, at the center for a couple of years. I was happy coaching there, the 6th grade and all that. Then Glenn Zykowski.
Yes, sir.
I stopped coaching Maka because they started to fly. I don't fly. Okay. So I stopped in 2000. I think our last year together was 2006 in Virginia with Street Ball, Debo, Little Zool. So then 2007, 8, 9, they went to California, San Francisco. I didn't go. I stopped coaching Maka.
Because you don't fly.
Right. Then,
if you're flying.
Right. Then 2010, Zach gave me the coach. Again, they had no coach. And I came in pretty much late. It was mostly Flatbush kids. 5 or 6 of the 8 or 9 kids were Flatbush. Got it wrong. We lost in the semifinal game. We had a lead and we blew it to a good team. So we won the bronze that year. And then Coach Sandusky was coaching at the Flatbush. They said, "Oh, why don't you come help me out?" Blah blah blah. I said, "All right." And I know the kids already and all that. And then first year there, boom, won the championship. The first championship in I don't know how long.
A decade, probably.
Yeah.
Since the 80s or something like that.
Yeah, it was a great year.
So you've been around coaching for a really long time.
It's 4A, man. You're going to get in trouble, man.
Yeah, man.
Maybe we should have ended here and get a part 2. I don't want you.
Part 2.
I don't want you to get in trouble.
No problem. We'll talk about part 2. All right, Mizrahi, shut it down.
Oh, you're not going to end it like?
Oh no, would you? Stay tuned for part 2. In part 2, we'll discuss the IBH impact, the IBH effect on Danny Mizrahi.
Well, that's actually before that. Was August 1993, August 30th.
Yes.
Right. That's when you think you said I sold my soul to the devil, which I don't agree with. I do not agree with that.
Well, we'll be back for part 2 of the Danny Mizrahi interview. Thank you.
Wow, you are out of here. Look at you. Oh, you didn't check that.
I got to pee, man.
Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna